WLG is proud to support BIV's 2020 Fastest Growing Companies and congratulates all of this year's recipients. From regulatory hurdles to IP issues, we know that taking your business to the next level is often easier said than done. Visit our website to learn how we can help accelerate your growth wherever business takes you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Birkin, Vice President, Products and Services at TELUS Business Solutions. Businesses big and small are looking for new ways to thrive in the future. And at TELUS, we're deeply committed to helping in every way we can. We pride ourselves on providing world-class service and support for the technology your business uses every day. The TELUS team is here for you, and we'd be happy to be part of your conversations and help you identify the right solutions for your organization. To learn more about how we can help you transform your business, visit telus.com/business.
This is BIV Today, the daily business video show and podcast from the journalists at Business in Vancouver. I'm Hayley Woodin, and we continue today our conversations with some of the fastest growing companies in British Columbia. My guest is Mike Maierle. He's the principal at Etro Construction, which is the second fastest growing company in the province, according to BIV's list. Mike, great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We have on our list here, which tracks revenue growth over 5 years, that you've experienced more than 16,000% growth. What has it been like to grow that quickly?
It's been a ton of fun. It's been very challenging. We've gone from my basement to our corporate office, and it's just there's been a lot of change, and that kind of change and that kind of growth doesn't come without amazing people around you, whether it be family, my wife and my kids, or the employees and our partners in the marketplace. So it's been exciting. I think that's the best way to put it.
It's a really amazing amount of growth you've gone through. Tell me a bit about how your role has changed going from your basement to, I'm assuming, managing a company that's quite a bit bigger than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, so we're about 60 people now, and my role has changed, but I guess my focus is always maintained. I'm a builder, I'm a construction professional, and so really trying to bring the right people around me, whether it be in finance and accounting or whether it be in marketing and business development to help our business grow and let me focus on being a builder and helping our teams and helping the next generation of construction professionals really take over. So my role from I had a pickup truck and I was delivering lumber to sites 5 years ago, and I don't do that anymore. I can say that, but definitely still very involved in the nuts and bolts of our pre-construction and construction departments. But really also focusing on oversight and planning for some of the new innovative things that we're planning on rolling out and doing over the next few years. So.
You were founded in 2015. When you were first getting started, what were your expectations for 5 years? Did you expect to grow this quickly?
I had set some pretty high goals. We had no expectation of being here and being in the fastest growing companies in BC. I would have been happy to have been in the top 10 fastest growing companies in construction for that matter in our province. But yeah, we've kind of exceeded all expectations, but it's really it's all come back to just an incredible amount of hard work by everyone, not just me. This is I founded the company, but this is a company of some amazing people that we've been able to assemble. But yeah, it's definitely I don't think anyone comes down and says I'm gonna do $1 billion dollars in 2 years, right? People, it's small little incremental steps, and going this fast, I can't imagine going any faster than we've gone, because it's like tearing your limb. I describe it as two people pulling on either of your limbs or all four of your limbs at one time, and that's kind of how the last 4 years have felt, just being pulled in all directions. So yeah.
Sounds a bit painful.
Yeah, painful is correct. Yeah, I would. There's been some very painful moments, for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, tell me a bit about some of the challenges. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's exciting to grow this quickly and there's a lot of success you've experienced, but what are some of the challenges that come with growing this quickly?
I would say the highs and lows. So you have amazing weeks and you have horrible weeks. There's a lot of there's a mental game in being an entrepreneur as you progress from stage to stage or step to step. It's exhausting. It takes 80-hour weeks or were short weeks for me in the beginning, and so the amount of time and effort, I guess that's a challenge. And then as you grow, really assembling the right team and making sure that you've got control of the process. So what we found year 1, 2 was all about, getting our baseline process together. And then we thought we were ready for, this increased growth over year 3 and 4, and realized that some of our process and procedure, maybe some of the people that we had, didn't fit. And so we had significant challenges. At the end of the day, we made it work and everything went well. And, but really, again, trying to drag things through instead of it being super smooth, as you're learning and everyone around you is learning, in order to get that kind of really maintain a consistent delivery of approach of our services. And people, in our market where it's been the fastest, the construction market and the development market in Vancouver has obviously been very busy over the last 5 years. And so finding the right people who are available that want to come for this little construction, come work for a construction company, where the owner is still delivering plywood to the job sites. It was hard in the first couple of years really to attract and be able to convince exceptional people that I had a plan, we were going to deliver on it, and come join us early. So those that have come and those that came early are reaping the benefits now of that. But yeah, it's really all about the people and all about the effort and level of effort. So.
What would you say it was like trying to work with clients? There's an element of convincing that exceptional talent to come and work with you. Was it easier, or was it difficult to try and get companies to select your company to work with?
Yeah, so I came from a background, I worked for 13 years for one of Vancouver's largest general contractors before this, and was, in some ways the face of that organization and, to a lot of clients. So I had a lot of inroads and a lot of opportunities, and I knew a lot of people. But definitely, I came from building 100 and 200 and $300 million projects, and, it was hard for me to just get them to give me a $2 to $5 million project when we started. So there was definitely that convincing. Once we got the first, 500,000, then it was 2 million, then it was 5 million, then it was 10, and now it's 70 or 100 million. So it's kind of been a very, very quick. Most would say it was very quick, but we've done it. We've kind of selected our projects and worked with the right clients to get us to where we are today. But definitely those first few phone calls where, people are like, oh yeah, I thought you were, you're a great guy and you worked for that other company, but I don't know. So it was not easy. There was nothing easy about it. And it took a lot of phone calls, a lot of time, a lot of, rekindling relationships with people that I had known before. But yeah, it's all work now.
I know Greater Vancouver has had, prior to COVID, a really hot construction market, and economists say that what's going to help with our recovery is in part that construction market in the non-residential side of things. I'm curious if you think that what's happening in the industry has contributed to you growing more quickly. Is it the right time?
Yeah, so absolutely. Timing was fantastic. When, there was coming out in 2015, the market was busy. And we kind of found our niche in building, small condo, townhouse, rental projects, and that fit the bill. There was a significant amount of tenant improvement work. So we were building restaurants and spas and gyms and office space because there was a significant quantity being built. And so, yeah, definitely the market and helped us in our first few years. The timing was perfect, and, we'll take it. Yeah, it definitely helped.
I know on our list, we look at revenue growth 2015 to 19, so it doesn't capture anything that happened with COVID, but were you impacted significantly in any way because of the pandemic?
Yeah, so in two ways. One, we had a number of projects, as an example, projects at the airport that we were working on were all hard stopped. And so those projects kind of got canceled. So that was a problem. We had a number of condo projects that were in launch that were supposed to be starting in the spring and summer that didn't hit their sales targets. So those were pushed or canceled or postponed. The office market, office TIs, obviously food and beverage and retail, that's kind of fallen off the map. But where we've been very fortunate is we build, ground up office buildings, institutional projects. We do a lot of rental, affordable housing projects. So all of that market has continued to go. This year, we do have a dip in revenue because we really had 3 months of almost no, or 3 months of very significantly reduced volume. And because a bunch of these projects that were supposed to be starting in the late winter, early kind of spring didn't get started. yeah, we've seen an impact. But we also, on the other side, we kind of took it at a time and took the time when, everything shut down, and there was my executive team. We sat for probably 2.5 weeks every day in our boardroom, social distance, and just worked through how are we going to make the company better? What are the things that what have we learned from this event? Let's evaluate all the people that we have here. What are they all doing? Do we need all these people? Because we were north of 75 people when we went pre-COVID, and now we're about 60. So there was an adjustment in staffing, but really focused on productivity, really focused on consistent delivery, really focused on managing some of the expectations, and really defining strategy in a way that we hadn't evaluated it before. It was also an opportunity. Although there were some challenges, we came through it unscathed, but also took it as an opportunity to reevaluate and really set direction for the company for the next 5 years.
Yeah, what are some of the lessons you've learned as a result of this pandemic that you're going to incorporate into your next 5 years? And also, I'll add to that, what are some of your goals over the next half decade?
Yeah, so I guess the biggest one is we really we hired a lot of people. We went through this significant growth where we hired 40 people in 1 year, basically, which is way too many people to hire in 1 year, and I'll never do it again. And so really how we onboard and how we evaluate employees and how we interview, we really looked at that, because we always had amazing people, but we ended up with some people that maybe weren't the right fit culturally, or maybe weren't didn't have the right work ethic, or maybe they just, we hired them because we needed someone. So we've really defined our onboarding process and really kind of taken a look at making sure that everyone here, not just the bulk of the people, but everyone here fits our, what we call our Circle Smart kind of overall well-rounded skill set. So that was one. Two is really continuing down the road of keeping a very balanced, diverse portfolio of projects. So when we started, we were doing 100% condo and retail, food and beverage. If that was all we were doing today, we would be in significant trouble. And so really, making sure that we had a balanced portfolio. And so it's very difficult as a growing company to get into the institutional space because, they want to work with, companies that have built 15 rec centers or 12 swimming pools, and so we don't have that on our resume, but we've worked very hard and been able to now successfully dive into the institutional space. So we've landed some large institutional projects of late, which is going to kind of continue our growth pattern and keeping it diverse. So ground up commercial office buildings, residential, but really focus on the rental affordable housing. And if the market where we know there's a need in the community, as we see the condo market kind of dipping, the for sale market, condo market dipping, and then moving into this institutional space where we can offer our services.
Fantastic. Mike, a pleasure speaking with you, and congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you very much.
That's Mike Maierle. He's the principal at Etro Construction, which is number 2 on BIV's fastest growing companies list for this year. I'm Hayley Woodin. Thanks so much for watching. BIV Today will be back with another episode tomorrow.